coming in, we didn't know a lot about this linebacking group. We didn't really know who was going to play where. We didn't know who was going to lock down what position. I do feel like even though Mack Wilson went down with that injury, and we can certainly talk about that, but I feel like we know more about this linebacking core than maybe I thought we would at this point, only getting to watch about 12 practices. Is BJ Goodson in the middle, Sione Takitaki next to him a lot of the time. And at least that tells you two of the guys that we kind of know will be out there on Sundays.
So the linebacking core started out to be what we thought it was going to be for the most part. Sione Takitaki, Mack Wilson at the weak side, Sione at the strong side, and BJ Goodson in the middle when they're in base defense 4-3. That's what it was going to be, and that's what we saw out there. Then, of course, Mack Wilson goes down with the hyperextended knee. The good news now is that Mack Wilson doesn't need surgery on the knee. Kevin Stefanski even confirmed that today. So he's going to come back. The hope is, I've been told, that he could be back within about 4 to 6 weeks. That would put him back on the field possibly as early as late September, sometime in mid-October. In the meantime, it will be Sione Takitaki, BJ Goodson, and then you've either got Tay Davis or Jacob Phillips. And not exactly sure how that's going to shake out yet. We did spend a little time talking to Jacob Phillips today. Just a really interesting, really smart, good linebacker, good pick that seemed to be. And, and we'll have to see how this goes. Then when they're in sub defenses and only two guys are on the field, that'll change things up too. But I think Sione Takitaki has come on a little bit stronger over the last 4 or 5 days. And BJ Goodson, now he missed 2 days for a personal reason, but he was back today. And, he's just been really solid, taking over a leadership role. And I do think he'll be on the field the majority of the time.
When I started looking at this linebacking group, I really, and I know I've said this on this podcast before and I'll own it, I just counted BJ Goodson out. I saw the tape, did not like what I saw. I didn't know how a linebacker with his lack of lateral quickness could stay on an NFL field. In camp, so far, he's proven me wrong. And part of that probably is because he's improved and the Browns are going to deploy him well. But part of it also, too, is Joe Woods and Kevin Stefanski don't have much of an option either. He is going to be the center of this defense and needs to be. And he sounds ready for it. I was really, really impressed with his presser, which was probably a couple weeks ago at this point. He is confident, a little more reserved, it seemed like, in the talk, and is just ready to go out and prove himself. And Mary Kay, you said everything I agree with on Jacob Phillips. He, of course, has to be the most intriguing prospect in this group, someone we just don't know enough about yet, and who's going to go out there and make rookie mistakes and either isn't trusted yet, or when he is out there, it's probably going to look a lot like Mack Wilson looked like last year. If we're going to comp, that probably is the comp.
I'll be honest, I'm still a little worried about this linebacking core. I don't know how well they're going to be able to cover. This defense didn't look great the other day, when it was Case Keenum in the second group going against the first unit. Now, again, BJ Goodson was not out there. There were some guys that were missing, but it was a little concerning. Myles Garrett was not out there as well. It was Porter Gustin playing in his place. That's obviously a huge loss. I think I'm still concerned about this group, but the one guy we haven't talked about a lot is Malcolm Smith. So he's a guy that if maybe BJ Goodson struggles, maybe you go to Malcolm Smith, who's played a lot inside.
As far as Malcolm Smith is concerned, solid, experienced veteran that can come in and play a role for you. I don't think they're necessarily looking at him as a starter right now. That could always change, but they need depth there. They need depth at that linebacker position. He's versatile. I think he can kind of play a number of the different spots, which you have to in this defense. These guys are all cross-trained, and, it doesn't matter so much if you're weak side, strong side, or middle. You just have to be one of the best linebackers and kind of be able to do a little bit of everything. And he's that. I
have a feeling he's the type of player who they're going to put out there when the youth in front of him make a mistake. It's the type, not the false start type of mistake, but like, all right, let's get the vet out there. Let's clean this up, because though he doesn't bring the type of athleticism Jacob Phillips does, we know he's going to be where he needs to be when he's supposed to be there. That's how I see a vet like that being thrown in here. It's a lot like in the NBA, a deadline signing guy that comes in and gets that 12 minutes off the bench. You just can trust him. You know what you're going to get.